you submit your audit prior to the 9 months, i.e. on time, but the REAC rejects the submission at 10 months, and it must be resubmitted, is it considered late? Will the PHA lose points on your score? So if this happens to you, you get one chance, and it'll typically, you'll have in the rejection notice, it'll say 15 days. If you resubmit within those 15 days and it come back and get accepted, there's no penalty. If it gets rejected again, and because it broke the audit, you're going to get a late presumptive failure or a score of 0 for FAS. So, this is where Bella was saying, get it in before the 9 months. Get it in on the 8th month, the 7th month, give REAC a chance. So if it ends up getting rejected a couple of times, it's still coming in within the 9 months.
Now, this gets more confusing. This is why I wanted to talk. That's when I saw this. I wanted to go one step further. We had one just recently, right, where I called you. Unaudited submission wasn't accepted for 8 months. In the meantime, the auditor submits the audited submission. The audited submission gets rejected. I'm trying to remember the exact sequence here. The unaudited submission was rejected. Okay? In the meantime, the audited submission was accepted after one rejection. In the meantime, the time period for the other one had expired and the PHA got an LPF, but the audit had already been accepted, but the unaudited hadn't. Now, and those are a little, that should not have happened, right? In that case, they were able to go back and say, look, I had an audited submission accepted, an acceptable submission in by the 9-month, basically what ended up being the 9-month period. So in that case, I think they were able to appeal that based on the timing of the LPF on the unaudited submission occurring just prior to the acceptance of the second submission of the audited submission. And I think you told me they were going to let that was the grounds for citing some appeal.
Yeah, if you get into those situations that are a little bit squirrely, your best chance to do if you get a late presumptive failure is to appeal, and let's see if the common sense, will come through and say, what, does it make sense to LPF and we're giving a score of 0.
Where is that? That's the first one or first one change? Somewhere?
You mean that there was a chance for an appeal on the LPF?
Well, on the unaudited, remember you have 3 months after the 60 days, so you have 5 months to get it accepted. So you got to think, so that's different because the reality there is you can have multiple rejections and you may just accrue some late points. On the LPF for the audit, it's anything gets rejected one shot, one time, 15 days to come back in. That historically has been REAC's business rule on doing that. You're not going to find a citation on it though.
So what that means is don't wait until 9 months to file. File at month 7. Then you get multiple chances to get rejection. But if you file at 9 months, you get the shot. It's one shot.
I mean, when everything was running really smoothly, that was definitely their policy. Then when they converted, and there was a whole backlog and this and that, there was, they were trying to be a little gentler REAC, but now they're trying to get back to their normal kind of course of business.